Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast. I'm your host, Nirban Day, and today we're going to be talking about Endless Summer Book 2, a short review of it. And where we leave this book at the last chapter of Endless Summer Book 1, that we have traveled 6 months through the time portal and we leave Diago behind. And if we don't use diamonds to save Raj and Grace, will be leaving them behind too, and now we search for them, but mainly Diago. The first chapter, we see the adventure of lifetime continues. Saving your friends will take you to the wildest reaches of La Huerta, where truly anything is possible. So you basically get introduced to the game structure of this book, the map we're given that tells us where we are in that island, and then we go to the celestial again and we search for any clues where Diago might have been, what happened in the 6 months that we were not there. And then we find some idols and we see this new gameplay that we will have total 12 idols throughout the book, and we will be needing to find all of them, and each idol tells one story about our friends, and so we need to collect all 12. And then we also meet Mr. Rourke and we have a very harsh conversation with him. He still almost wants to kill him. But in book 2, your journey across a surreal paradise to save your friends, but the island threatens to trap you forever. So we also, while traveling through jungle, we witnessed this time loop, and it was really interesting. I played it a lot of times to just get out of that time loop. So I think again the Endless Summer book was really interactive. It was not like just you tap through the books and okay, yeah, you're done, but you actually needed to use your brain, your consciousness. You actually had to play it with lots of thoughts. So it was like an actual game in a story. I really like that. Then those left behind, the Watchers, have plans for Diago. Will you be able to rescue him from the Forbidden Valley of Tombs? Now we meet Diago. We think Varian, who is the blue guy, the tall guy who had Diago. I thought they were gonna kill Diago, but we actually find that Diago is good with Varian, and Diago is not gonna be killed by them. But then Rourke appears there, and Rourke wants to kill all of them and wants to take the idols. But we can save all of them and we can take the idol because we need to collect all 12 for a very special bonus scene at the end. Chapter 4, Island Justice. A prophesied cataclysm lies ahead. Can you convince the Watcher's Queen of your innocence to time to do something about it? And then we go to the Queen, Elshire, I think, and who is Farron's mom, and they talk about 12 catalysts, forgive me, who will come there one day and will stop Rowan Losty, if I remember this correctly, and Okazal, I think, the old man, he told us about that. But there was a brave soldier, Sorexa, who was not really surprised or really intrigued by the fact, and she thought that we were just the reason of their bad time or of their bad days, or we are gonna kill them. So we get exiled to a nearby isle called Sharktooth Isle. Then we go there, but there is a newcomer, a pirate who is a French pirate, and we and our friends set out on a rollicking quest for pirates' booty. And there we Malatesta, I think the pirate's name, who actually betrayed that lady pirate. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but that was an interesting chapter. And we also see pirates and getting stranded in an island sort of there. And if we hadn't saved Raj and Grace earlier, so here we'll meet Raj and Grace and we'll get together. Then it says you can't save everyone. You have escaped your pirate island prison with the help of a daring new friend. But will you risk your freedom to save a village in trouble? Then we see the sea monster attacking the village. But then we go back to save them from the attacks of that monster. And we finally save them There we meet this very little cute boy in that Vanti village. What is his name? I think Tari, and he was really cute. We save him. We choose to save him, and then Sorexa will be closer to us. She'll be giving us a cloth and special meal, and that would be a really nice. And I thought maybe Sorexa could be our love interest, but that didn't happen, and I was really bummed by that. I think book two meant yeah, four love interests were there, quality love interests, but Sorex's addition would have made sense. Like we see, I really liked these, for instance, Diago and Varin. They're a lot of points we get to have them together, so I really liked that worked well because Diago wasn't even accepted by his parents, and Diago always felt alone. Even when we play those diamond scenes for the the idols, we see Diago's condition. So now Diago finally had someone. And then when Queen is at the brink of death, we travel through time and dimension and everything, and we retrieve the heart of the island, that crystal, and we bring it to Queen, and Queen gets saved. Her one of the syndrome, Rotterdam syndrome or something, that gets cured, but the island's heart also now is residing within her, so she behaves like a monster sometimes. But later we find out it's not just bad, but she also can help us in that form, and she gets us out of trouble in a lot of occasion later. But the fear is that that thing might take control of Queen and we can lose Queen. Then we celebrate Vanti's coronation festival. Then we just really enjoy it throughout the next few chapters. But then we set out, we learn from Iris, we get another really ground shaking, shattering news that Iris is originally Alistair's mother who died a long time ago, and now Rourke made the hologram out of her and made her a servant. Alistair was pissed off by that, but she tells us the way out from this place, and we needed to go there from Frozen Place. But there was it. Now we know that Jake was not out of the United States for nothing, but he was betrayed by his commander, and we needed to catch him. But he was there after Jake and his whole crew. Those soldiers were after all of us, and we traveled through the snow. We defeat a lot of people, but again, we don't defeat everybody because then we get to know about the betrayal that originally Estella's mom, who was killed by someone. Estella thought it is Rourke, but it was Leela. We find that out. Leela runs away from there. The bear attacks us. The Yeti, I think that's what Jake calls him. But then Queen, with her power, sort of calms down the beast, and then they leave our little purball, and then again we start our journey. All of Lundgren's men were after us, but we defeat all of them momentarily, and then we go to Masada facility. Meanwhile, we enter there. Rourke sees us, and he wanted to put us in some kind of jar for test, but we leave them. We finally defeat with the help. So there was a lot of action. It was an action-packed thing. A lot of things happen, but then we go back to future finally. But what we see, our mind was blown away by that. We see that everything is fire all around us. Everybody died, and the volcanoes erupted, and there was lava everywhere, fire. And with due time we come back to again to that place, and with the help of Varin also, and then we fight Rourke's main enemy. We escape from there with all of our friends, but Alistair betrays us, thinking that his dad will make everything right and takes Grace with him. But Alistair also thought that his dad will let us go. That never happens because Rourke, an absolute monster, wanted to kill us. But Leela again saves us, and then Leela also Estila kills Leela. I would like to know your opinion on this because I felt like I know what Leela did with Estella's mom. It was horrible, but the way Estella acted with Leela, it was horrible too. Leela could have just let us die, but she saved our asses. So I mean, that was really horrible thing to do. What Estella did with Leela. That's just my personal opinion. I would like to know. I think that more light could have been shed on that because that was just so vague, that part. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Then we escape from there. We reunite with our friends, and we see Jake friend Mike, who Mike Jake thought was killed, but who was again, his memory was erased or something by Lundgren, and he was in their enemy, in their army as an enemy of Jake and our main character's crew. But then we escape from there. We defeat a lot of people, but at the end we just get split up. Sahara falls down. Queen gets out to save us, but there was blood everywhere. I think the missile crashes against her. We don't know what happens. The plane is almost at the brink of falling down. We fall down to the deep sea. We thought we are gonna die, but later we see that the female pirate, the French pirate, saves us and then takes us to this volcano where Axal was there. And there, if we collect all the 12 idols, we finally meet the Endless, and they tell us everything that we this is the things while touching every idol we saw a future and the past of all of our friends, and everywhere they die. So it is just not a future, it is what has happened. And the Endless says it has happened 2139 times, but every time we get closer to save them, and now we can break the chain, break the loop, and with the help of Vanti people we can maybe save our friends. And Endless can't do it by themselves, so we will have to do it. And the Endless myth, also Endless made it up a lot by going a long time ago in that island, because he can only go back and forth in time only in that island. He can't go back in our time and tell our main character not to go to this La Huerta trip or the government. He can't do anything like that. So it's pretty interesting, and we finally see that Endless is no one but our main character. That's where it ended. To be honest, there's a lot of things to say about this, but that's what happens here. Very interactive. Again, we get this puzzle solving, and also what I liked most about it is that the shipping things. Like we get to get a lot of people together. For instance, um Sahara and Craig, Grace, Alistair, and finally Diago and Varen. And Diago Varen's love I really like, because also the thing when we're going to the future again, then the night that it's a diamond scene, we can let them have this. Varen and Diago, they spend the time together. The way they say, we'll be looking at the stars and we're thinking about each other. The stars live for 1,000 years, so the star I'm looking at from my time is the same star that you're looking at. That really touched my heart. So that's why I think if one of the Vanti people were our love interest, we would have been sharing that very special moment. That sort of a very emotional moment, because we will be separated. But yeah, with Jake, Sean, Queen, Estella, it is very emotional too how the events turn around them. But I felt like, again, like Nia, Queen was a main love interest here. Let me know, guys, how did you feel about this book? I know it was vague, but there's a lot of things to talk about. One last thing, if you have missed anything in Endless Summer, for instance, if you played it for the first time, or you're stuck at any puzzle or anything, or maybe you want to see a different ending, or how the story progresses for a different route, there is this YouTuber Avirio, or the Lost Guardian, but specifically Avirio. In his old channel there is the videos of It Lives and Endless Summer, specifically Endless Summer, where you'll have all the different endings. If you're stuck at any puzzle, you'll be getting there. If you can't do it on your own, definitely, or you'll be able to see multiple endings, or what if you had chosen a different route. So go check those out to see what outcomes you could have had. And that's all from this. Let me know in the comment section how did you feel about the Endless Summer book. I'm keen to hearing from you guys. See you later in another video. Till then, peace out.